stand and told him my mans. I couldn't believe that shit. What happened to Kyra, the whole world probably know. He told the police and shit.
Look like Oblock rapper Shoebox is attacking FBG Butta in his new song. You know, he said some things in them songs that did kind of stand out. Look like he telling, you know, his side of his version of how he feel about Butta, you know. He said something about KI too that kind of felt like he stamped King Von involvement too, that a lot of people had sent that to me. We finna talk about this. Hit the like button. Goal on this video 1,000 likes. A lot of people been asking me about this. You know, I just listened to the song, and I'm not gonna lie, Shoebox kind of got a new song out where he talk about Butta, name dropped him. He didn't insinuate none of that shit. He name dropped him, saying Butta told on his best friend and shit like that, and he ain't like how that was and shit. You know, a lot of people was wondering, was Oblock gonna finally start attacking, you know, Butta in these songs, or were they gonna speak out against him? Because a lot of people kind of went silent and quiet about what happened in that courtroom with you know, people that kind of let that die down, ain't really speaking about that. But it looked like Shoebox is back with this music shit. He name dropping Butta, and it looked like a lot of people supporting Shoebox with that song. You look in the comment section, it's a lot of people, you know, who do this rap shit that look like they supporting him. You see some of King Von people in there too, supporting what he got going on with this music. He said basically people already know what happened to Kyra. The whole world already know because Butta told the police. You know, people were saying that King Von was the person behind KI death. We done talked about this plenty of times. This is the point where I don't even think this needs to be talked about no more. But with Shoebox saying that, you know, that was kind of like a slight small way of kind of confirming that shit by saying everybody already know what happened. The whole world already know. Well, what the world think is that King Von was behind that. So that's pretty much been launched. A lot of people don't seem to understand that. In that federal courtroom when Duck had his court trial, a lot of people to this day still saying, man, them fake stories. People just was in there saying what they had to say. These stories is not true. You know, most of those stories that came out in that federal courtroom was probably true. I don't think people realize that. To be lying in front of them feds ain't really a smart idea. If a motherfucker was forced to testify, then I don't think a motherfucker really wanted to play. You know, I mean, I understand on the dead. I don't think people seem to understand that. It was stories told about Tuka, stories told about O.D. Perry, all kind of shit in that courtroom. I think some people in denial about that shit, and those stories are really true. You know, the stories that was told in there and shit. So it looked like he had FBG Butta in these songs. A lot of people was wondering, what's this gonna happen? You know, Butta been dropping music too. I asked Butta this in the interview. I told Butta, you know, because he was kind of irritated at people playing with his name and shit. And I asked him, did you realize why people were mad because of what you did? And I think he understands what he did. A lot of people didn't.